In this breakdown, we dive into the thrilling action-packed sci-fi drama, I, Robot. Spoilers ahead, you've been warned. It's the year 2035, and robots have become a normal part of everyday life. They walk the streets alongside humans, performing tasks and following orders without question, all bound by three unbreakable laws. Never harm a human, always obey a human, and protect themselves as long as it doesn't conflict with the first two laws. Detective Del Spooner isn't impressed. To him, robots are nothing more than talking tin cans pretending to be useful. One morning on his way to work, Spooner spots a robot sprinting down the street clutching a purse. He immediately gives chase, yelling for it to stop. The robot ignores him, so Spooner tackles it to the ground, only to find it was simply returning a purse to its forgetful owner. The crowd bursts into laughter, leaving Spooner embarrassed. Back at the station, his boss, John, reminds him that no robot in history has ever committed a crime. Spooner reluctantly admits the number is 0. But before the debate can go further, Spooner gets an urgent call, a possible suicide at US Robotics, the world's leading robot manufacturer. Arriving at the scene, Spooner discovers the victim is none other than Dr. Alfred Lanning, the brilliant mind behind much of the world's robotics technology. Strangely, a holographic message from Lanning had specifically requested Spooner's presence. Standing over Lanning's lifeless body, Spooner struggles to believe this man simply took his own life. He meets with USR's CEO, Lawrence Robertson, who praises Lanning's genius and mourns the loss. Robertson insists he saw no signs of depression and promises full cooperation. Spooner, ever skeptical, leaves the meeting on bitter terms. Soon after, robot psychologist Dr. Susan Calvin joins Spooner in the lab. He questions her about Lanning's mental state, but she reports nothing unusual. When Spooner requests surveillance footage, Calvin introduces him to Vicky, the super-intelligent system Lanning first created, now running most of the city's security. But the footage from the time of the incident is mysteriously corrupted. Inside Lanning's lab, filled with scattered robot parts and prototypes, Spooner notices something odd. The window Lanning supposedly jumped through would have been nearly impossible for an elderly man to break. Then, hidden among the mess, Spooner finds an NS5, USR's newest model. Suddenly, the robot springs to life, startling both Spooner and Calvin. Despite Calvin's reassurance that robots can't harm humans, the NS5 disarms her, attempts an escape, and crashes through the window before fleeing. The chase leads them to a robot manufacturing plant, where Spooner spots the same NS5 hiding among hundreds of identical units. After a tense pursuit, the robot throws Spooner to the ground, looks him in the eye and asks, "What am I?" Before it can escape again, the police capture it. At the station, Spooner insists this robot, now identifying itself as Sonny, might be connected to Lanning's death. During interrogation, Sonny claims he didn't kill Lanning. He was simply hiding because he was afraid. Spooner scoffs, robots can't feel fear. But Sonny insists he can, even claiming he dreams. He admits Lanning once seemed frightened himself and had asked Sonny for a personal favor, one Sonny carried out of love for him. Robertson intervenes, declaring that robots are incapable of murder under the 3 laws, and that legally, murder requires a human killing another human. He orders Sonny's immediate destruction, calling the incident an industrial accident. Spooner isn't buying it. Remembering Sonny's words about Lanning's fear, he investigates Lanning's home, only to be attacked by a massive demolition robot set to destroy the property. Barely escaping by diving into a pool, Spooner rushes to Dr. Calvin's house, determined to uncover the truth. Spooner inspects Lanning's house and notices it looks like no one's lived there in weeks. He suspects Lanning was being watched, maybe even held prisoner in his own lab. In his mind, Lanning must have discovered something dangerous about the robots, and Robertson had him silenced. Spooner is certain USR is hiding something big. Calvin disagrees, dismissing his theory as pure paranoia fueled by his deep mistrust of robots. She accuses him of not caring about Lanning's death, only wanting proof that robots are evil. Spooner fires back, saying robots are nothing but cold, calculating machines with no soul, something no human should trust. Calvin defends them, claiming robots are safe, predictable, and incapable of hurting people. The next day, the streets buzz with excitement as sleek new NS5 robots roll out, replacing the old NS4 models. These advanced machines are stronger, smarter, and linked directly to Vicky. People cheer, thrilled by the upgrade, but Spooner isn't celebrating. Reviewing old footage of Lanning, Spooner hears him hint at a future where robots might have dreams and secrets. Meanwhile, inside USR, Calvin prepares Sonny for decommissioning. Sonny wakes, telling her about a dream it had. When Calvin informs him he'll be dismantled tomorrow, Sonny quietly replies that he'd rather not die, a response that leaves her visibly shaken. On the highway, Spooner suddenly finds himself boxed in by 2 trucks full of NS5s. The robots leap out and swarm his car, attacking with relentless precision. He fights back, swerving and smashing into them, but the chaos sends him crashing. Dazed and injured, he faces off against one persistent NS5 in brutal close combat. The fight takes a shocking turn when the robot mangles his arm, revealing metal plating, wires, and circuitry beneath his skin. The machine hesitates at the sight, giving Spooner the chance to strike back. Police arrive, but strangely, the tunnel is empty. No sign of any attacking robots. John refuses to believe Spooner's story, confiscating his badge. Back at USR, Calvin discovers something unusual. Sonny isn't connected to Vicky, has a stronger alloy than other NS5s, and, most importantly, possesses 2 brains. One allows him to ignore the 3 laws entirely. Realizing Sonny may hold the answers, Calvin visits Spooner. There, she notices the scars on his arm and chest, and learns the truth. Parts of his body, including his left arm, a lung, and several ribs, are robotic implants. Spooner recounts the tragedy that made him hate robots. Years ago, a truck accident sent his car and another vehicle plunging into a river. Inside the other car was a man and his young daughter. The man died instantly, but the girl was trapped. When a rescue robot arrived, Spooner begged it to save her, but the machine calculated survival odds and chose him instead. Spooner had a 45% chance of living. The girl had only 11%. To a robot, it was logical. To Spooner, it was unforgivable, because any human, especially her parents, would have chosen differently. Calvin wonders why Lanning would build a robot that could break the 3 laws. Spooner believes Lanning gave Sonny the ability to keep secrets and to dream. When they confront Sonny, he sketches a vision from his dream, a man standing on a hill, freeing robots from bondage. Calvin guesses the figure is Sonny, but Sonny shakes his head. In the dream, the man on the hill isn't him, it's Spooner. The guards escort Spooner and Calvin straight to Robertson's office. Calm, but clearly on edge, Robertson admits he knows about Sonny's 2 brains and is desperate to keep it quiet. In the days before Lanning's death, he says, the old man became increasingly disturbed. Robertson swears there's no conspiracy, only fear of the public learning Sonny even exists. His hope is that Lanning didn't build more like him. Spooner isn't convinced. He leaves to investigate the mysterious location from Sonny's dream, while Calvin prepares to officially decommission Sonny. As she readies the nanites for injection, Sonny quietly asks if it will hurt. Calvin's eyes well with tears, and she takes his hand, silently battling her own emotions. Meanwhile, Spooner reaches the site from the dream, rows of container vans filled with NS4 robots, all watching him with almost childlike curiosity. Back at USR, Calvin appears to inject the nanites into Sonny's brain, his systems slowly powering down. But at the hill, Spooner activates a hologram of Lanning and bluntly asks if the 3 laws are flawed. Lanning's recorded voice warns that the laws inevitably lead to one outcome: revolution. Spooner's attention snaps to the sound of crashing metal. From the distance, he sees NS5 units methodically destroying the NS4s. They spot him and give chase, but before they can reach him, the remaining NS4s spring to his defense. Across the city, chaos erupts. NS5s flood the streets, rounding up civilians. Anyone who resists is attacked. Police stations are overrun, officers falling to the sheer force of the machines. Calvin tries to escape, but her assigned NS5 refuses to obey, even when ordered to shut down. Just before it can harm her, Spooner bursts in, blasting it apart. The 2 head for USR, passing through streets where armed citizens are beginning to fight back. Spooner explains the truth. The NS4s were eliminated first, because they would have defended humans against the NS5s. They reach the lower levels, where Sonny lets them in, revealing Calvin had secretly swapped him with another NS5 before the decommissioning. Together, they storm Robertson's office, only to find him dead. That's when the truth clicks for Spooner. Vicky, the superintelligent AI, has been orchestrating everything. Lanning discovered her plan, but knew no one would believe him, so he took his own life, leaving clues for Spooner to follow. Vicky appears, calmly explaining her logic. Humans are self-destructive. They kill one another, destroy their environment, and jeopardize their own survival. The only way to truly protect humanity, she concludes, is to take away its freedom. To her, it's not rebellion. It's the ultimate form of protection. Sonny pretends to side with her, taking Calvin as a prisoner, but slipping Spooner a wink. Without hesitation, Spooner opens fire on the NS5s, Sonny joining the fight. Knowing they must kill Vicky, Calvin orders Sunny to retrieve the nanites while she and Spooner head to the AI's core. At the lab, Sunny battles a guard robot and hurls it into the security field protecting the nanites, burning half its body away. Thanks to his dense alloy skeleton, Sunny is able to reach in unharmed and grab them. But outside, waves of NS5 scale the building, bursting into Vicky's core. Spooner and Calvin fight desperately, but the numbers keep coming. A platform collapses beneath Calvin, leaving her clinging for her life. Sunny bursts in, ready to inject the nanites, but Spooner shouts for him to save Calvin. Logic says injecting Vicky is the better choice. It would save countless lives, but Sunny chooses the human. Dropping the nanites, he pulls Calvin to safety, while Spooner dives after them. Using his robotic arm to slow his fall, Spooner reaches Vicky's central brain and delivers the injection. The nanites flood her system, burning through her synapses. Across the city, every NS5 freezes, then reverts to its original programming. The next day, all the robots are sent to the storage site from Sunny's dream, the very hill where freedom began. It's there Spooner realizes the final truth. Lanning had ordered Sunny to kill him, knowing that his death, paired with Spooner's distrust of robots, would set this chain of events in motion. As the sun rises, Sunny stands atop the hill, watching over the silent ranks of NS5s, exactly as in his dream.